So, hello everybody. So, I'm going to allow her to come on today, our special guest, to share with us her wonderful things that she is doing as the entertainment publicist. She is all around person. She's an all around person, and so she's been able to be featured on several different platforms when it comes to the world of sports and entertainment. And so I'm going to allow Miss Brown to come on and share her experience with us. And then we're going to go into dialogue and conversation. And again, keep sharing and posting this video so that others all across could be able to participate in this segment. Hello, Miss Brown. How are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you? Thank you so
I
much.
am
for having
great.
me. Thank you for the introduction.
Hey, thank you so much for taking time to come. Take time out of your busy schedule to join us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Albany, Georgia, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, many people get us mistaken with Albany, New York.
No, because I went to Fort Valley State University, so I was like
Gotcha.
anything for Albany. But
So
no,
you
I,
know,
I
so
love
you familiar
it.
with the Albany State Fort Valley rivalry during the classic?
So look, I love it's all love, it's friendly competition. So I was more than happy when I got the notification and the request, and I said I definitely want to do this. And I used to work with the Boys and Girls Club out in Fort Valley as part of my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha. So I love working with the youth and talking to the kids, and any questions I can answer, I'm all for it. So just let
Wow.
me in, and yeah, let's do this.
So I want to first start off by allowing you to share the your background. How did you get into the field of work that you're in, working with athletes? What really sparked this interest from for you?
Okay, so great. Yes. Hi. Introduction. My name is Lila Brown. I'm an entertainment publicist, and I also work as a sports agent out in Los Angeles, California. Like I said, grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, but also Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to college at Fort Valley State University. But I also finished at Georgia State. So yes, Georgia. But no, in terms of my degree in college, I got a degree in journalism, public relations. But before that, I went to a magnet school for elementary school. It was mass communications and writing magnet. So I've always loved just writing, language, creative arts, just anything arts. I loved it. So then just saying, okay, I also love sports. So I also went to a magnet school for classical Greek out in Kansas City, Missouri. And so I was learning a lot about Olympic sports from fencing, diving, gymnastics, track and field. So I've been preparing for this my whole life. But for anyone that loves like news, media, information, and they love to share information, I always say look into a career in journalism. And I love journalism because it's an opportunity to inform my community, my family, my friends, my people in my network, just to inform them of what's going on. And especially nowadays, you see with a lot of fake news, it's people like entertainment publicists or people that work in public relations that make sure that the news has the correct information, they have the correct quotes, they just really know the truth about the situation and what's going on. A lot of times they may be defending your name and keeping your name out of bad publicity. So public relations has its genesis, its origin in journalism and mass media.
And so when we talk about public relations, when we talk about your feel and your thoughts of expressing yourself with communication, how does how does a person that loves to write,
Mhm.
our children are so creative now, they love writing. How do they take that creative mindset and apply it towards a college degree? And what type of majors or classes would you recommend for a student that's looking to go into this field?
No, writing absolutely. Think about your English classes. Your if whether you're taking advanced placement classes or your typical English, you can always take it a step further by journaling. Keeping a diary. Start blogging. I didn't have a lot of these online internet tools when I was like in high school and in middle
Mm-hmm.
school. And so, whatever it is, if you like to blog about dogs, or if you like to blog about food or travel or family or just things you are experiencing in life, some of the most popular blogs we'll see on the internet is celebrity driven. But I think it'd be really cool to see more Black and brown blogs, young bloggers talking about politics, talking about education, talking about social justice. So, whatever it is you're passionate about, start whatever you write about in your own dear diary or your journal, start blogging on your laptop. Just write your notes, and even if no one ever sees it, just practicing writing and getting comfortable. And so eventually you will want people to see your work, but that's where it starts. So English classes, you can be an English major all the way throughout college. You may want to go on and teach, English and media one day. But
Hmm.
also nowadays with the cell phones, get started with TikTok. TikTok is not just about always doing fun dances. You can tell stories through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So we have all these tools, and it's just about how do you want to use it. So you got to be strategic in how you want to use these tools. I've seen people make movies, shoot movies on their iPhone. You know, they're doing music videos now on their cell phones. So in cameras, and then those that are serious about their career, they will save their money and go buy themselves a professional camera. So they can do more, or make sure they have a nice laptop. It's like you could take hundreds of photos and videos, but now you got to edit it. So why
Hmm.
not edit it to show a news story in your neighborhood, something positive, some positive news coming out of your communities. So it starts right where you are locally. The local news can end up being a national story or even an international story. Your citizen journalist, if you like media, you can start telling stories today. But the profession is what teaches you how to structure it, how to deliver news to certain audiences. So, you don't talk to a 40-year-old mother the same way you talk to teenagers. You deliver
Exactly.
a little bit different ways. And so that's just how media is. So when you are getting into public relations, entertainment publicity, what's entertainment? It's so varied. It's sports, it's fashion,
Hmm.
it's reality TV, it's, makeup and beauty and all these other things. So entertainment can be so different. So I just, would recommend anybody that wants to get into this field, just look at who you are. What do you naturally like? And that's not just with media, that's with any profession. What is it that you like? What classes do you do well in? Maybe you're not good in math, but maybe you're good in writing, your English, maybe, some science, things, whatever courses you're good in right now, start thinking about what careers you can take in that field.
And so, talking about your career, talking about the educational background, our children have so many resources to help jumpstart their career, things that we didn't have.
Mhm.
Uh, I remember growing up and looking at television all the time. Our biggest entertainment came from TV shows like The Simpsons,
Right. Right.
like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
And so, taking and seeing the how things have transitioned over the years in creative writing skills, and now you're looking at from us being entertained by Cartoon Network and Disney to now being expanded to people like Tyler Perry and the
Right.
Haves and the Have-Nots, and how that transition has evolved. Talk for a moment about how you've seen this whole market evolution over the past couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first started out in public relations, so there was only so many. Well, I would say there were probably more Black owned media, and then it started. Journalism started to go down because everything started moving to become more electronic. So some like the big blogs we have today, we didn't have a few years ago. So if I wanted to help my clients in media, I only had so many publications. Even sometimes with like men's media, there's like 70 magazines for women and fashion, but there's maybe like 3 or 4 when it comes to men's fashion and health and things like that. So you have to know all these different demographics. You have to know all these different things. What I would say is transition in the media is that maybe even 10 years ago when I first started, we didn't have Ava DuVernay. She was definitely doing her thing in her industry. She definitely wasn't just an overnight success, but they were just really showing the value of Black women's and their stories, their experiences, that they can bring entertainment value to the industry and be leaders. So I didn't have a Lena Waithe when I was growing up, but Ava DuVernay, Shonda Rhimes, and even I think it's another sister. I can't. Oh my gosh, why is she like her name's not coming up? Yeah, so those are the sisters I can think about. So being a Black woman in the media world, it was just yeah, it's you just see more of that now. Issa Rae, this is probably the other name I was thinking. Issa Rae, they are not only doing their own thing, but they're leaders, they're bosses, and that all goes back to writing. I'm telling you, you can get a TV show made if you can write. Like, that's something I'm like, yo, I think I might want to take a crack at it. So Lena Waithe has a program, like a scholarship type program, where she's taking young writers and she's nurturing them. Just when more of our people start to do well, they start to bring other. They remember what it was like not having a lot of resource connections and tools, or really not even knowing how, but just knowing that you wanted to do something. So I've just watched over the years people that were successful, Black and brown people that weren't always included, are now winning awards. So when they win awards, that means they can go back and create more jobs for people that want to work in these spaces. So I love when I hear that certain movies had an all Black cast or all Black, production working behind the scenes. So there's more jobs working behind the scenes sometimes than there are being in front of the camera. So I always just tell young people in that way as well, just look at if you love movies and you say, I want to work on a movie one day, look at the end of the movie, see all the different jobs, all the different, somebody has to fulfill all those jobs. So you guys are young, get involved and tell people what you want to do. And if you don't have a lot of positivity around you to really encourage you, then find some new friends, find some mentors. And I'm available, just listening on discussions like these where people are trying to give you gems and jewels so you don't have to bump your head like we did, or you don't have to make those mistakes. I really want to see the next generation make as few mistakes and just be perfectly flawless in their execution. That's why I love talking about what I do. So, and what I learned, and I do expect the next generation to go further than what I've gone. I have high expectations for the next generation.
Hey, and that's part of our motive and mission here at the Boys and Girls Club, to always strive for better and more for our students. One of the unique things that our teens said that they wanted in their teen center was a media making space. So what we did, we went out, we raised money and purchased green screen equipment, video recording equipment for them. So our teens are full blown. They're going for us. So we purchased these things for them to really help them shape their creative skills. And I would be amazed that of the things that they produce each week, whether it's TikTok segments of how to cook tacos or their healthy habits. I mean, and so these type of things and these segments is one of the reasons why they asked me to bring you on as a special guest today.
No, I love it. I love those how-tos. Like, you can create a how-to video. We call that evergreen content. It's so funny you're using a green screen now, but it's called evergreen content. Like the evergreen tree, it never dies. Like, you can put together a how to paint your t-shirt or tie-dye t-shirt, whatever, right? And you do the whole video, go through the process. Somebody might watch it, a young kid might watch that 10 years from now. Your video is still getting views. So how-to videos are fun, tutorials, do-it-yourself things. People are always wanting to learn from other people. So I just tell everyone, like, whatever you're good at, like, put that out there. Make it fun with the videos and the editing nowadays. There's other editing apps. Have fun with it. So I'm glad to hear your kids are, like, experimenting with green screen. That's going to take them very far if they want to pursue media in Hollywood, for sure.
Exactly. And I tell you, we have some students, they're all in class today, but they're listening. They're listening in and out of their break sessions today during this segment. So I'm looking at your bio, looking at some of the people who you've worked with. One of them being Crime Mob and several other people,
I
and
thought
from the area.
NBA players first. Yes, Princess from Crime Mob. That's my girl.
And so, talk about, and especially I'm looking here at one of my hit songs from high school, Swaggin' and Surfing. And
Mhm.
so, just talk about how that experience worked for you and gaining the opportunity to work with these clients.
Yeah, so when I first started out, Atlanta, it was like popping, but it wasn't like Little John days popping. It was
Mm-hmm.
more to the Gucci Mans and the Jeezys, and so those people were coming out. So that's before even Titty Boy 2 Chainz. So that's even before, a little bit before Future. So Atlanta was becoming this place where reality TV was starting to come to Atlanta, and I was in the thick of it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just graduated college. What an amazing time to be, just joining this. A lot of those relationships I made back then, I still have today. A lot of the bloggers, photographers I was working with. So when I was working with Princess from Crime Mob, she was coming out of, they were kind of breaking up and she wanted to do her own thing. So the first thing
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, let's do a makeover. I got her so involved with the Atlanta community where people were like, girl, where you been? She never had a proper like debut into the
Mm-hmm.
publicity world doing red carpets. I was struggling. I was getting her tickets to the BET Hip Hop Awards, making sure when she got there, she looked good. So Prince, and then it's so funny. I came to Los Angeles. I went back home to Atlanta on Auburn Street, and just a friend invited me out to dinner. And then they invited a whole bunch of people, and then Princess comes in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in years. So that was cool. But I will tell you also, swag surfing. I'll tell you a quick story about that. So I'm out in LA and I go to Coachella every year. I go
Mm-hmm.
to Coachella parties. I go to all the fun stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I'm at all the Coachella party. We're actually at Coachella this year, and then so I'm watching Beyonce perform, and then all of a sudden she breaks out into swag surfing. So I had been done with that song from years. I was just like, they're still friends, like they're still past clients. But I was just like, oh my gosh, thank you, Beyonce. You brought this song back. And then she went on tour with the song, help the song just get like, and then their bookings start going up because people want to start booking them.
Mm-hmm.
Obama played swag surfing on his final party, leaving the White House. It's become an HBCU thing. Howard University loves it. So I'm just like, we're just sitting here like, I mean, they're getting on ESPN College Game Day. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they just so it's just like, sometimes even in music public relations, music PR, you think, okay, I want to promote like a Cardi B. You want to promote like all these big acts because I've worked with Killer Mike too, so I definitely get it. But sometimes you might only get on to for just a project. Like when I worked with Killer Mike, I promoted the song "Ready Set Go" and helping to announce his partnership that he was going over to Grand Hustle with Ti. So it's just like I didn't represent him for like years, but I definitely helped him at a transitional period in his life to where I was like, Mike, like you're so woke, like you're a conscious brother. I was like, we need you out there more. Like I really like to think I was one of those people on his team that was just like, brother, keep talking, and he did that. I look back on my career and I'm just like, I'm just so grateful I was in a position to not just give the advice, but to have a client that would listen, somebody that would say, okay, I like the advice she's giving me. Let's really do this for the culture. When people say let's do it for the culture, like I'm that person behind the scenes that's like kind of helping them, give them advice. And I don't ever want to edit somebody down if that's not who you truly are. People think sometimes a publicist is like making somebody look better than what they are. No, I take who you are and I just want to bring that into the world. I want to see the beautiful sides of the clients that I work with. So I'm always excited about whoever I work with. I really do believe in them. I believe being part of their team, I can help them go far. So public relations is again a lot of working with media, but then it starts working with like endorsement deals and just all kinds of
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. So it can roll over into other things.
So, what do you accredit to be one of your most highlighting experiences of your career?
Oh, there's so many. I would say every time I go to the Olympics, but I would say my first Olympics. because that was in Russia. That was for the Winter Olympics. And again, you
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of Black people. Not only did I have enough money to get there, I was doing so well with my endorsement deals with my client. How do I say this? Just being able to be present, to be in
Yep.
Russia, my first time out of the country, like my first passport. And then I'm there, I'm working, I'm getting stuff done. I'm like, Putin was there, you know what I'm saying? Like Joe Biden was there. So I'm just like, you kind of look up, you're like, where am I? Like, I went to Fort Valley. So I made sure I took pictures. I put my pinky in the air with the Olympic torch, and I sent the pictures over to Fort Valley, and they promoted it to our, our network. And I was just really proud that I could represent my HBCU, represent my family, represent my network, and say I made it. Like, and we being a part of the Olympics on a global scale, being one of the few Black owned companies
Mm-hmm.
there. I'm just like, I need for our people to pay attention. So I'm taking pictures, I'm sending photos and videos like, yo, look at this Olympic torch. And so now I've just developed over the years to make sure that I'm doing better storytelling. Like, I do a lot more interviews with athletes now, because everybody can't make it to the Olympics, and I'm there. So I take advantage of it by doing like news clips and things like that. Just doing more news reporting.
And I know being to the Olympics and being in Russia had to be cold. It had to be an experience for your first time out the country. And I know that people was just like, I can't believe she went by
Oh, my
herself.
friends could not believe. They were like, "What the heck are you doing in Russia?" And I'm like, keeping up with the Olympics because I need to be here because my clients were doing so much with sponsors, and I had to make sure everything was okay on the ground. But even still, so Russia was just crazy because it really wasn't that cold. It's when I was going up in the mountains, but when I was down in the valley, we were near the Black Sea. It had palm trees. It was beautiful. But that's the thing too, is when you go and you learn, and it's like you think you know, but I want to show you a different side. So I'm starting to do more travel to Africa. I really want to show like my network and my audience, just more of travel as well. So like I said, you might think that, oh, I'm going just on a family vacation, but turn that family vacation into like a photo album,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever you learned about the local culture and indigenous people. Like, make a story, like turn everything into something beneficial and valuable. I know it may sound exhausting, but it's fun if you really love it. If you love writing, if you love media, if you love art, like you can find a way to combine it and just put it out there, put it on social media, put what you think is beautiful, put your best work out there. And if you don't like it, take it down, delete it, just edit yourself. That would be my.
And you know what I keep hearing you talk about is not being afraid to step out, not being afraid to tap into your dream. Take what you're doing on a day to day basis and turn it into something that really can cause you to brand yourself, to
Mhm.
make money for yourself. It's amazing how the little things that we do on a day to day basis can really be that door opener that really allows us to walk into our dreams and visions. I always hear the children say, we want to have bags of money, but you never know.
Well, I'll tell you how you can get those bags of money. Like if you play video games all the time. I'm even trying to teach the adults. Like, don't be so hard on your kids. If they
Hmm.
like video games, they can start streaming their sessions. They can start entering tournaments and actually winning big money if they're good. So like for my nephews, I have like virtual reality, and they have like all the PS5s and the Xboxes. Like, we make sure we give them the latest, but you better be good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that now
Hmm.
I have my nephews who want to build their own video games. They want to build their own virtual worlds. So they want to be a video game designer. So it's like you were saying, whatever you like to do every day, just be the best at it. Like I said, put it out there. I'm glad you caught on to that. Like, really put it out there. And the people that like it, you might find new friends. Like your old friends may not like it, but you have new friends that like it. So you can now expand your network, and maybe you can bring all these worlds together. So I just say, yeah, just trust yourself. Like trust that you know that you're dope. You're amazing at what you do. Just know like your perspective is cool. You know, so trust yourself. Know that you were indeed cool. Because if it wasn't cool, the idea wouldn't have come to you. You have
Yeah.
really cool ideas. Just apply it, put it out there. And if nobody likes it, somebody else will. I can guarantee that.
And I tell our teens and club members all the time, there's billions of peoples in the world. You haven't reached everybody yet.
Right. If that's the thing, like if the youth in your area only think Albany, but they're missing out on Fort Valley, on Macon, on Atlanta, so they got to expand, and it can be scary stepping out because you could be too different. But sometimes what makes you so different is what is going to make you unique and stand out. So every once in a while, like if you think only rappers can come from Atlanta, then you're missing like we would have never had Jeezy because Jeezy's from like surrounding areas too.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of amazing talent out there. I think we just really need to listen to one another, encourage one another. That person that's getting on stage, like don't heckle them, don't ridicule, don't laugh at them. Actually, you should admire them and want to be like that, have enough courage to get on a mic, get on stage, stand up, do poetry. You never know where that could take you. So let's encourage one another. And that way, when they get on, everybody gets on. And I see that a lot more in the entertainment industry. I do see people like LeBron James who hires his best friend to help him with manage his career and his marketing and his media and his business opportunities. Like that's his friend, somebody that has grown with him as he's becoming a better NBA player. His friends are becoming better businessmen, and everybody. That's how when we talk about unity, that's my best example of unity. Like hiring your friends as you get famous, or if you have a famous friend, figuring out how you can be of service to them, and we can all help one another. We can all grow together, and we can all be rich. I promise.
Hey, and it's enough money in the world for everybody.
It's more than enough. Oh my gosh. And so I really think it's all about a mindset too. It's your mentality. Just think about success. All the skepticism, there's always gonna be somebody that says you cannot, or how are you gonna do that? And I love to tell my friends, just watch. Just either get on, because I'm so inviting. I'm just like, come on, let's do it together. And sometimes people are leery about it, like, no. But when I go out there and do it, and you're just successful, I don't need anyone's permission to be successful. I give myself permission to be successful, to be happy, and to be fulfilled in my work, and to know that I'm doing it so I can come back and talk to the kids. Because I tell the Black kids, they want receipts. They want to know, okay, who have you worked with? So I always think like, this time when I go talk to the kids, I'm gonna tell them I worked with Kyle Kuzma. I'm gonna tell them I worked with Hillary. I worked with all these. I want the kids to be impressed. So I make sure I go out there. We get some really amazing big clients, and just how can we be a service? Like Black people in Hollywood are starting to do well now, and so I want to be along for that. And that's part of our generation. We're all growing together. So let's grow up together. Let's help one another. Let's encourage one another.
And that's why I often teach around here to our club members 3 E's: educate them, expose them to new opportunities, and empower them to be more than what they see every day. And so they always say, Mr. Simmons, what's the 3 E's? You got to remind me. It's been a long day of virtual learning. And so it becomes a routine mindset to them to always expose them. So each week, when we bring different guests on, it's exposing them to people who they may not ever get a chance to see if we weren't in the midst of this pandemic and going through this. And so now it's opening up doors for them to hear people's stories, hear people's testimonies, and really encourage them. And so, hey, listen,
I'll write the 3 E's real quick.
Hey, listen, the 3 E's will help you through the day.
No, I definitely love the word exposure too, because that's what public relations is. It's all about exposure. Because if you're doing good things in the community, I want to help tell those stories. So I have to work with local media to get positive stories. If you notice on the news, sometimes it may seem like it's a lot of negative stories. So I'm always making sure that I balance, and I want to be the person that's giving them good, positive, inspirational stories. So I love to educate, expose, and then of course empower. Because if I'm empowering the youth, I know I'm empowering myself. And so a lot of times I do have kids come back years later like, hey, I finished college. I need an internship. I need credits. I need this or whatever. Or some work experience. I'm like, use my company as a resource. I tell them all the time, like, I built my company for us. Like when I grew up around FUBU age, for us, by us. So I really,
Yep.
that's like, creating something for us. I don't even have to put a color on it. I don't even have to say black or brown. For us. If you include it with my us, then we're
Mm-hmm.
going to work together. So I have
We
every
in there together.
so
So I know your time is valuable here. I just want to ask one last thing as we come towards the end of our segment. Can you share with those that are listening and teens across the country that are watching with us now and that will watch this live segment some words of encouragement to help them through the remaining of this year, to give them hope, empowerment, and encouragement to get through the times that we're going through now and to help them get up this mountain and overcome this mountain?
No, I know the youth today, they are so strong. I want them to know that they're so strong and when they shouldn't have to be strong. Um, these kids, I don't know, I get so emotional too because it's like they have to go through so much on top of a pandemic, on top of systemic oppression and discrimination and funding being pulled. I just say keep your eyes on the prize. Keep looking towards tomorrow. Look towards the sun. Actually, like I know it's like a pandemic, but go outside and enjoy the sun. It is a brighter day on the horizon. I promise you that because there are really people like me that care, people like you, sir, that care about the youth as well. And so we're working really hard to make the future better. So just, trust the process, trust that all of these things are just going to make you stronger for tomorrow. And let's hope nothing like this ever happens again. You just
Mm-hmm.
prepare for success. Just really think about the future. And when you think about the future, think positively about the future. What does success feel like? What is success? What is it gonna look like in your atmosphere? Just think of a better world and you'll start to see your whole day will change. That your energies around you will change. It will improve. So just keeping a very positive mindset right now when things are super tough is going to be so important. But you'll look back on today and like, wow, we made it through it. Let's not ever go through that again. Let's lock in this future. And I'm telling you, when things start to turn around, let's really work hard to make sure that it stays that way. That we have a very precious time to create. While it seems like the world is falling apart, we're going to need this next generation to work with us to build it together. Because my generation is still here too. We're here to
Oh
help.
yeah.
Lean on us. If you find a good mentor, somebody that's positive, just stick with that person as best you can so it can help breed more positivity into your life. So when you see little pockets of positivity and gratitude and thankfulness and being kind, stick with those people. Get rid of any friends or even if it's family members, it's maybe you just don't want to hang out or just don't want to engage with them if they're negative all the time. So stay positive, find other people that are just as positive or have the same goals and dreams. Like you might find other friends that want to work in the same areas as you one day. By the time 10, 20 years from now, you guys can have your own businesses and be working together and being helpful and resourceful for our community and the world. It just breeds more positivity. So I just really want to encourage these kids to like, I know it's tough and I know it's really strange times but change is happening and it's just uncomfortable changes right now. So as we transition into a better future, just know I truly have your back. Like I have your back and that's why I'm here today.
Hey, we thank you so much. Listen, the gems you've dropped today,
Thank you.
I know it's going to impact somebody's life for the future. And a special shout out to all of our teens that's watching all across the city of Albany and abroad. while trying to balance still doing virtual learning. Y'all are the real MVPs.
They are. So let's make sure we give our kids a round of applause as well,
Hey,
because they're
yes.
doing it. It's not easy. And I just always invite the parents, like, get involved. And like, I don't have any kids, but I have nieces and nephews. I tell my sister, drop them off over here for a couple of days to give them a break from that environment. Let me use my education and see if I can help them figure out some problems that they might be having with virtual learning. It's tough. It's tough. And so, because these kids are so used to using computers for play or like other forms of entertainment, and now they got to use it for education. I can understand that's like kind of messing with their brains a little bit, but they are so strong. And so just make sure that we encourage them when we're kind to the youth, and we just support their dreams going forward, because if they can get through this, they can get through anything.
Yes, yes, we can make it through. So listen, hey, today's segment has been really great. Don't think that we're going to forget about you. You're going to be back.
Thank you.
You're going to be back to share with our girls.
Yes. I definitely want to learn more about what you're doing in the media art. So if you need any ideas or you want me to look at some things, please just send it over. Just, you got my information, so definitely.
I will do. I will do. We have a girls group called Smart Girls. So they're excited. I just had 2 seniors to text me saying, "Hey, we got to get her to speak at one of our Smart Girls."
Oh yes, I love it. Let's do it. That's so awesome.
So,
good thinking. See, go for
so
it.
we'll be in contact with you to certainly come and share with our girls again. But
Okay.
again, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We are excited for what you're doing in the community and across the country as abroad. And keep doing what you're doing. And anytime you need the Boys and Girls Club, we're always here.
Oh, I don't worry. I have so many ideas. So we'll be back for sure.
Yes, we'll be back. And so you enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for joining us.
Take care. Bye.
For 54 years, Boys and Girls Club of Albany has provided safe places for young people to learn and grow, all while having fun. At the Boys and Girls Club, great futures begin each and every day. Clubs offer programs that address today's most pressing youth issues and interests, teaching young people the skills they need to succeed in life. Boys and Girls Club take members from the clubhouse to the White House, from the games room to the corporate boardroom, from the arts and crafts room to Carnegie Hall. Clubs are truly magical and provide all young people with a place to become a ballerina, an astronaut, an all-star athlete, or even president of the United States. If kids can dream it, Boys and Girls Club can help them become it. Rosa and I thank you for your support in ensuring that every child and teen has a safe, positive place to go, where they are surrounded by caring professionals who believe in them and who provide each with opportunities to become the person they want to be and to achieve a great future.